Okay, so I can just sit here. Okay, great. Okay, so I've been with the Westmarch Police Department for maybe 15 years. So 10 years as a patrol officer and then 5 years as a detective. And this particular evening I was actually jumping in for a colleague, so I was out patrolling again this one time. I remember we were sitting in the car, me and my partner, and it was maybe slightly before midnight. And yeah, it was quite cold outside and like a light rain, so we were like hurtling inside of our car. And I remember we were talking about the upcoming game the next day, because I'm a huge Bulls fan and he's a Mavs fan, and you know, we always have this type of friendly banter going on, I guess. So yeah, it was just like an ordinary day at work. And yeah, whenever I'm doing these night shifts, it's very important to stay focused and to stay sharp. So I always bring this thermos with coffee, and I had just poured a cup. I remember it so clearly when we got that call on the radio, and it was a disturbance call. Someone had called in because they heard strange noises from their neighbor's apartment. So yeah, since we were in the vicinity, we took the call, and yeah, it was a routine errand, so nothing strange about it. Then we started, then when we arrived at the scene, I remember it so clearly, because when you work as a police officer, you evolve this type of sixth sense, you know. And when we arrived at the scene, I just had this gut feeling that something was off, you know, something was off-putting. And I was looking over at my colleague, and I could see in his eyes that he had the same feeling. And you know, we couldn't put the finger on what it was, but yeah, that's how we felt. So we dispatched out of the vehicle, and we approached the building, and the caller had provided us with a code, because it was this apartment building, like 5-6 stories. And so we entered the code, and we stepped into the building, and we tried to be really quiet, because we don't want to make ourselves known. We don't want people to know that we're there, because if there's an ongoing crime, it's very important that they don't suspect that we are onto them, so to speak. So we go in very quietly, and first we talk with the caller who speaks to us, and he tells us that he's been hearing a lot of strange noises from this apartment, and like loud bounces, and yeah, yes, nothing that you would hear normally from your neighbors, let me put it that way. But of course we didn't have too much information to go on, so we kept on going upstairs, because he was living upstairs from this caller, and it was quite scary, because you know, there was this light that was flickering, so it was quite hard to see. And so we approached the door, and we knock on the door, and we make ourselves known now, like it's the police. It's totally silent, we don't hear anything. One second, next time. Yeah, like I said, we knocked on the door, we made ourselves known, no answer. And we tried again, we waited for maybe 30 seconds, no answer. Dead silent. And the thing is, we could see that the door was unlocked, and when there's a suspicion that there might be crime ongoing, we are allowed to enter the premises. So, because we want to make sure that no one is harmed, yeah, it's just as a safety measure. So we open the door and it's pitch black inside, and I shout out, "It's the police! It's the police!" Still no answer. And when we step into the hallway, oh, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I can continue. When we step into the hallway, we get this stench, like a wall of stench, just coming over us like a wave. And yeah, it was like, we could smell, it was pizza, it was energy drinks, it was cigarettes, yeah, and then it was clear that it's possible that we have a serious serial gamer on our hands. Yeah. And I've been working as a police officer, as I said, or within the police department for 15 years, and what I experienced and what I saw that evening, I've never seen anything like it. Not until then and not since. So yeah, we tried to put on the lights in the hallway, but the light is out, it doesn't work. So I turn on my flashlight and try to see if there's anything harmful, so we have to be careful about. But I don't see anything, but we can hear little taps from inside the bedroom. So yeah, we decided to enter, and yeah, there he was. We caught him in the act, in the middle of it, and it was a gruesome sight. He was laying there like he didn't even notice that we stepped into the room, and I kind of froze because he was holding this iPad and he was like tapping with his fingers, and I could barely see on the screen, but what I saw was appalling. It was extremely disturbing. And yeah, I mean, I should probably have stopped him immediately, but like I said, I'd never seen anything like it. So I had these shivers down my spine, and it was like I almost froze when I saw what he was doing, because that violence, yeah, I don't wish upon anyone to see what I saw that evening.
Okay, so I think I started making YouTube content like a year ago, maybe a little bit more. And I think my first clip was just like a 15-second clip at the training dummy where I was playing the necromancer and I was dealing quite a lot of damage, and a lot of people that used to play with me, they were always impressed because I was killing the bosses so fast and everything. So I guess I was into like damage output from the beginning, but then they released this training dummy and we could go and measure the actual output. And when I did that, and I shared some screenshots on Discord, and it was like people couldn't believe their eyes because those were numbers that had never been seen before. So I decided like, okay, well, maybe I can upload a video as well about it. And so I uploaded this clip. It was, like I said, like 15 seconds maximum. And I mean, I didn't have any subscribers, but yeah, it didn't take long before I had like a couple of hundred views on that video. And I was like, I kind of liked it because, yeah, it felt like instant gratification, and I also thought like, okay, well, if I get hundreds of views just from uploading this short little clip, well, imagine what I could do if I like, make a little bit longer videos. And so I decided to like try to make more videos about damage, and I made this damage guide, and then it just started taking off from there. So I guess I kind of early on understood that a lot of people are interested in how to improve the DPS output of your character. So I guess that was my niche in the beginning. And after that, I just kept uploading videos and more videos. And I remember I was trying to make these thumbnails like, look at me, the 10 million DPS, and people went crazy, and then I had to like up the game, and I was like doing 12 million DPS and then 15 million DPS, and I just kept going, like, and it started to become like an addiction to me, you know, like, what should I do next, like, how can I push myself even further? And I remember that after some time I tried out the Crusader, and like back then the Crusader was seen as kind of a support class that didn't deal that much damage, but I guess I saw some potential, and I came up with this new fire banner build, and I released it on my channel, and it became a huge success. And there was also some other content creators that talked about my build in their videos, and I guess I guess this was around the time when it maybe started to get a little bit out of hand, because I was hooked now, and I needed more. Like, I was dreaming about making more and more damage. I was constantly thinking about how to improve, and I was like, I couldn't sleep some nights because I was totally consumed by it. So I was going to this training dummy, and I was like so impressed, because in my videos you could clearly see how much damage I could deal with the fire banner, and I was like selling this whole new meta to the Crusader community, and it was also very good in parties and stuff like this. But and then to be honest, if I could go back in time and tell me to stop, I probably would, but that's impossible, and what's done is done, I guess. And it became quite of a burden, you know, because I felt like if I don't keep improving myself, it's not gonna take long before I'm insignificant. So I was experimenting and trying different combinations, and I really thought that I had hit the limit, but then this patch came out, and I saw this new shoulder. And the fire banner was crazy. It was really crazy, to be honest. But this new shoulder, it makes your judgment also cause burn effects. And on paper it looks like this should probably work very well with my previous build, just with some slight alterations. So I decided to try it out, and what can I say? The funny part is, like, when you are attacking the training dummy, there is a button where you click, it says breakdown, and when you click on that button, you can see like how much damage each skill is making. And when I put on this shoulder, I go to the training dummy for the first time, and like, hit it for the first time, and I feel this rush going through my body because I've never experienced anything like it. And like I told you before that I was addicted already to like damage output, but this was a new level because I hit the training dummy and I could just feel the power. Like I just hit it, you know. And I clicked the breakdown button and I see like, yeah, I couldn't believe my eyes because I told you the fire banner was strong, but boy, this judgment was crazy. It was like almost double the damage from the fire banner, and I was like, no, this can't be correct. So I like I clicked the reset button on the dummy and like I hit it again, like try it again, and I do it a few times. Like I can barely contain myself because it's so powerful, and whenever I click the breakdown button, I can see once again the judgment is like constantly like a lot stronger than the fire banner, and I was like, yeah, this is not good, and maybe this is where I should have stopped. I should have stopped there. Yes, I should have stopped, but it was too late. I mean, I was hooked by now, so I went to the armory, like equipped my old DPS build. So, and I switched out the shoulder for the new one. And in the previous build, I used falling sword, but now I switched it out for the judgment and the new shoulder, as I said. And I also made sure to equip my dragon pet because it has these lingering wounds, because it helps me to deal even more damage. And I made sure to have like some eternal affixes with the holy banner to increase my attack speed. And yeah, I was just like trying to look at all the magical attributes so that they would be perfect, and like just double check everything. And I even went to the Paragon and changed it from brawler to slinger. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it was like, yeah, it was a little bit too much, to be honest. But and then when I finish, I'm like, you know, to make the pet work, I have to leave the game and then log back in, and then the familiar starts working, and then I I press the record button because I always like do the screen recording when I'm gonna do my dummy runs to record what's going on, and then I start hitting the dummy, and like I just beat it, and I just beat it, and I just it was nothing like I've ever experienced before, and like something just snapped inside of me, and it was like I felt adrenaline, and I felt like more present than I've ever done before in my life. But at the same time, I kind of drifted away, and like everything turned to black. I just kept hitting it, and I just kept hitting it harder and harder and harder. And yeah, I mean, I don't know for how long I was going, but when I opened my eyes, I mean, the training dummy was laying there, smashed into pieces. And yeah, I wish I could say that I would feel bad when it happened, when I opened my eyes, and when I came back, that I would feel regret. But that would be a lie, because I was smiling. I was smiling. Yeah.